Making money in 2025 is easier than ever. Now I already know, some of you may be thinking, no it's not. But hear me out. If a bum sitting outside of Wall Street can make 6 figures doing absolutely nothing, then what's stopping you from building a 7 or even 8-figure business? The world has changed. The tech we have now makes success more accessible than it's ever been before. 10 years ago, this kind of opportunity didn't exist. We used to spend months, sometimes even years, trying to build what we can do now in just minutes. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how to build a $1 million business using nothing more than just ChatGPT. Not unlike most videos that are fully scripted and prepped, I'm gonna do all this in real time. I have no idea what ChatGPT is going to spit out, but I could tell you this. By the end of this video, we're gonna have a full plan from start to finish that we can launch today. A clear path to scale to 7 figures before even the end of this year. So let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna use a couple different options here. We're gonna use 4.0 for most of this. We're also going to be using 4.1, 4.5, as well as 03. So first starting off, now we wanna start this business, we wanna launch a product, and we don't wanna work too much, right? So we're gonna use print on demand. We're gonna search up what are the top print on demand products and which ones have the most margins. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna type in here is provide me with insights into the top print on demand products for 2025 and what categories and product types are gonna be huge sellers for Q4. Hit enter and let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. So it actually gave me 2 responses, one with a video. I don't have fucking time to be looking through this video. Going through this side over here just because it caught my eye because of the video. It has Halloween seasonal apparel, winter holiday, fitness gear, pet products, and top selling POD categories. So you have t-shirts, baby clothing, mugs and tumblers, all over print, hoodie, jewelry, wall art, belts, bags, phone cases. Macro trends, so we got apparel, we got over 80% of consumers get sustainable personalized items, okay? And then here we go, some Q4 strategies here for Halloween fitness, pets, jewelry, home decor, so on and so forth. Now over here on the left, it focuses more on the categories, which is kind of what I was trying to go for. And it says apparel right here, which I don't really care about going in apparel. It has shit margins, and you'll find out that in just a minute. Home decor, so you have cozy personal gifting. You have fleece blankets, pillow covers, Christmas stockings, okay? Personalized gifts, we have name necklaces, pet portraits on canvases, which that could actually go into the home decor as well. So that's something to look into, and I have made videos about that before. AI generated avatars or characters on products. I also made a video on that one too. So kids and family matching sets, that's pretty nice, like PJs and things like that. Niche specific printables like digital products, and then emerges underrated products. So glass can tumblers, holiday door mats, acrylic signs, leather goods like wallets, keychains, and desk accessories. The platform, obviously Printify, which is what we'll probably be going with here. I do love Printify and it's very easy to use. So George's Q4 scaling tips, launch the bestsellers by September, which we're going to get. It's only June right now. By the time that this video comes out, it will be just July, so you have time. Use urgency countdowns, of course. Bundle and upsell like a beast, and then gift guides by niche. Now I kind of like this one over here, even though this is nice. It's kind of stuck with the different strategies for Halloween, fitness, pets, jewelry, and all that. And I like evergreen. I like things that are going to continuously make me money throughout the year, no matter what. I don't have to sit to certain holidays. Like say if I go after Halloween, then it only gets me money during Halloween. And if I go after Christmas, it's only going to get me money during Christmas. If I go after, 4th of July, for example, it's only going to give me money for that, right? It's all bullshit. Who cares? Evergreen only. I prefer this response. We're sticking with it. Now, with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive down a little deeper, and we're going to look at the margins. So the next thing I wrote here is based on the information above, provide me with an in-depth breakdown of the potential margins from each if I were to use Printify for these particular items and categories, because we want the highest margins possible. That's how you make money. It's not about how many items you sell, it's about the margins. You want the net profit at the end of the day. If you sell 1,000 items, but you only make, 10% each one, it doesn't fucking matter. At that point, you're making such little margins that you're gonna have to sell 10,000, 20,000, or even 100,000 items. The higher the margins, the more money in your pocket. If you start chasing money, the money will run faster than you ever can. So make sure that your margins are high enough that you're going to be able to put money in your pocket and enjoy your life. So we're gonna hit send and let's go. So for this one, it's actually searching the web, which is great. It's going to actually search Printify directly. And there we go. Within seconds, it brings up all the information. And it says tees, hoodies, and beanies, which is interesting. But I did say Q4, so it is planning for winter. That's probably why it's picking out beanies and not just like traditional hats. Based off that, it says standard tees. Base cost $7 to $15. Recommended retail. This is, of course, Printify always suggests at least 40%. Now 40% on there, you would have to kind of really brand those t-shirts in order to charge that much. Most people charge around $20, maybe $30 max. So it's a little difficult on that. A 30 to 60% range. It's more about 25 to 35, I would say that's about right. Hoodies, embroidered beanies. We're gonna skip over apparel completely. You know, I remember once hearing from Damon John, the owner of FUBU. He said if he ever had to start an apparel business again, he would never do it. And that man has made $1 billion business selling clothes. So if he says, I'm never going to get into apparel again, if I had to redo it again, I wouldn't do it, that is a red flag for me. I always look for products outside apparel because of that. Of course, I like wearing clothes, but maybe not selling them. So scrolling down, we got home decor. Sherpa blankets here, $20 to $30. Gross net margins, 15 to 50. About right, depending on what design you put on it. Pillow covers, they can make a lot of money. If you haven't seen the video here with my wife, she made a good amount of money real quick with pillow covers. Typical markups, $5 to $12 each. They do only cost about $7.50 for that pillow cover, and she was selling for $35 a pop. Anyway, seasonal items, stocking tree skirts, these are huge. Of course, we are doing evergreen here. We are not sticking to the seasonal items, so that fortunately is a bust. Personal gifts, jewelry, canvases, pet portraits. So jewelry, it's a little hard to get, and there's not too many different options on Printify. Canvas print here, 15 to 40. You can easily sell it for 20 to 70, 50 to 60% net profit. Now, this obviously right here is the net profit that you would get based off of that, not that you're taking a $15 photo and selling it for 20. I probably should have covered that from the start, that this is the base cost, this is the net profit that you're going for. Not that, you know, you're taking $15 and only making $5. So just throwing that out there, that's why it says 50 to 60%. ChatGPT is 10 times better at math than I am. And I know when I first read that, it took me a little while when I was used to, you know, draw these things and make these different business plans. You have to remember, it's only gonna show what you're telling it to show. And this is what I told it to show, is just that base cost and net margin, not give me a whole breakdown of it. So going a little farther, photo, you know, pet mugs, ornaments. Kids and family matching sets and clothes, don't give a shit about that. Tees, hoodies, beanies. I like this little breakdown summary table. This is really nice. And then key levers for improving these margins. All right, so with this being said, let's look at this summary here. I like this. So we have beanies, hats, I don't give a shit. Fleece. Blankets are really hard to sell. That's a really big seller, but it's a very overcrowded market. Pillow covers, I know that we made money with pillow covers before. However, I want to do something a little different. So seasonal ornaments, nope. Canvas, we could definitely easily do that and break that down here. Jewelry now, matching sets. I think we're gonna go with canvas on this one. You know, we have 50 to 60% net margin, and I can actually show you how to design everything right in the ChatGPT, so we don't even have to leave this window at all. Okay, so the next thing is we're going to find that audience and really target the audience that we're going after. So here we go. Okay, so the next step here, I'm writing, I am going to begin selling canvas wall art, both the regular canvas as well as framed. I want you to provide me with a breakdown of the customer base. Provide me with the demographic, where they live, average spend, where they buy from online, such as Etsy or Amazon, how much they typically spend, as well as the best sizes to sell online for the best returns. So clicking send, and let's see what it comes up with. All right, so we're gonna go through this here. Perfect timing, George, canvas wall art. So customer profile, gender, 70% female, 30% male. We have age range, 28-45 is a sweet spot. Millennials and older Gen Z. Income is 55 to 120,000. Lifestyle value, aesthetics, home vibes, cozy spaces, and trends forward decor. Here, family status, 60% are parents and pet owners. 45% either buy from their own home, 40% as a gift, or 15% clients. Now, I don't know if you know this, but this right here is gold. Okay, this I can use for Facebook ads to really target this audience and blow this shit up. Make money as quick as possible. This is what you need. And anybody that's ever ran Facebook ads, you know, you choose what the gender is, you choose the age range, you can even choose their income, and then all this can be chosen as well, either broken down by, you know, subject of their interests, or just in general of where they shop. I mean, it's really crazy on what you can do on Facebook, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But right here, location insights, where they're from. United States, Canada, UK, urban. 70% are United States. So this is perfect, and they order from Etsy, Printify. Here we go, going down a little bit more. We have the average spend and AOV of each platform. So Etsy, Amazon, Shopify, right? Average spend on Etsy is $45 to $85. Amazon is $30 to $70. Whoa, that's lower. Interesting. Okay. And Shopify is $600 to $100. You know, you're kind of getting more of a special design when you're going to your own website. I mean, it's usually stuff that you're not going to find on Etsy or Amazon, so it makes sense on why it's a little bit more expensive. Let's see, frame canvas, 85 to 150 and 70 to 120, 100. I mean, it's kind of on par here for the Shopify, which is interesting. And I like that, you know, because we can easily make a ton of money on Etsy, especially during Q4. And Etsy is where I made a fuck ton of money. So I know how to easily navigate that. And if you want to know how to do that and gain money very quickly, then join my free school community. I have an entire course that brings you from never making any money to making six figures instantly. And then with the help of this, watching this video, you could turn that six figures into seven figures. So anyway, going back to this here, where they buy from. Etsy, biggest canvas search engine for handmade art and decor buyers. Love it. Strong for mass markets. Yeah, I could see that. When you go on Amazon, you usually have mass markets. They're just like printed out. They're not really personable. Shopify is a slower ramp, but higher margin potential. Upselling the frame versions, SEO, influencer traffic. Okay, so they're using influencers to really guide their sales. Best selling, you have 1620, 18 by 24, 24 by 36, 12 by 16 framed, and then different sets. That would be like the three together. Hot niches, pets and family personalization, that works for Etsy. Inspirational quotes, again, Etsy or Amazon in that. Boho, abstract, modern. That's probably going to lean more towards Amazon because it could be mass produced. Seasonal art, Christmas, again, that's up in the air either or. A nursery and kids room, probably more Etsy related because you can personalize that. Final strategy tips, you want to use mock-ups in a lifestyle setting. I say this all the time on every one of my videos. Home offices, bedrooms, living rooms. You want to have that person feel like they're in there. Always offer 3 to 5 sizes, which it's showing above here. Upsell frames and matching sets, and then start with Etsy, test Amazon integration and a bestseller. I mean, I swear this is literally reading it like it's me telling you, because this is what I tell everybody all the time on my videos, is this is how you make your money. This is how you start. So I love how it's actually pinning this all down and putting this together for you. So now with all of this said, this is where we're gonna go here, right? Now we want to analyze this. We want to figure out, all right, how can we get this even further? Let's get a strategy going. So we're going to take this, I'm going to click the share button, update the link, and I'm going to copy it. So now my copy my link, and then I'm going to start a new one here. And instead I am actually going to use 4.1. Now I'm going to say the following. So I wrote, using this link, and pasted the link. Provide me with an analysis and detailed plan on how to scale this business from zero, because we have no money, to $1 million by the end of this year. I have less than 6 months. I want to ramp it up, begin selling like crazy on or right after Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Those are really the big times to hit. So what happens is you'll sell a little bit right now and we'll launch this and you'll start making some money, and then people will stop because they are preparing to save their money for some sort of discount and plan for Black Friday. And then after that, it's all set in stone. I mean, that's where the horses come out and they are racing to the finish line. This is where you need to make the money. So let me add a little bit more here. So I added a little bit more here. I wrote, I want a strategy on how to ramp up after and discounts I should provide, as well as a marketing points I should cover when going into this holiday, because I want as much information as possible. Hit send, let's go. Okay, so I got an error. This is interesting. It says it can't actually access the links behind the share. That's very interesting. You're in its own system. So I'm gonna have to copy and paste it. So what I'm gonna do here is just copy, paste this, write that in there, and I'm going to write this. Using the information below, then write information gathered, and I'm gonna copy and paste it in there. Now that all that information is pasted in there it is. It's a lot. Click it and let's go. Okay, so within a couple seconds, it brought up all the information that we need. So the first one is an analysis, right? Because it goes by what you're telling it to. So make sure you remember that. I have an entire video on how to prompt this. Everything you ask it will be done in the order that you're asking it to. So the first one is an analysis here. Category focus, we want regular and framed. Obviously it gave us our demographic again, just broke that down, and our margins, we're looking for 40 to 60%. We're looking for a net profit of $30 to $100 each sale. From here, we want our $1 million goal. So now it's going to reverse engineer how we're going to get that in only 5.5 months. We want our total revenue to be $1 million, and dividing that would mean that our weekly sales have to at least be $41,667. It gives us, with an 80% AOV, we would need about $80, which is 522 orders per week, which is 75 a day, which is not that bad actually. Now Black Friday, Christmas, Q4 spike, you should expect 3 to 4 weekly average, 5 to 6 a week, leverage the surge. Yes, exactly. That's where we'll get this in. So maybe in the beginning, you may not be getting 75 a day. Obviously you just launched, but what it's telling you here is this last one, you're going to leverage that surge to be able to equal this, so it averages out to 75 a day. Step-by-step scale, July to August. So this is nice. It's going to break down each thing that we should do by month. So July to August, this is the foundation. This is our pre-launch right here. 20 to 30 core, evergreen, and seasonal canvas are options. Personalized flows, pet name, family. Okay, so it's telling us to really go after that personalization. So that's good to know. This is where it's saying that we're going to make our money here. They want us to have 3 to 5 bestsellers, sizes, which we already have earlier. We want to build out the mockups right here, set up, optimize our Etsy, which is the core, start integrating. So it wants us to start working on Amazon by the end of August, and maybe even launching our own Shopify website. So what I would suggest with that, since Etsy is a core product here, what you should do is definitely launch an Everbee store. Check out this video afterwards. I'll leave all the video links in the description, but check out this one, because with Etsy, once we launch an Etsy store, all you'd have to do is just click one button. You could transfer everything from your Etsy store right to its own website using the Everbee store, and it'll be 10 times faster and cheaper than anything else that you've used. So with that being said, scrolling down a little bit more, you have your SEO, September, mid-October, push lead magnets, daily TikToks, start testing Meta Facebook ads, which we will get to in just another second here. Product expansion, mid-October, early November, you're gonna do that scarcity and urgency. This is where you really take over. You want that scarcity, you want that FOMO effect. And if you've been following me for a while, that you know that this is important. Creating that urgency that this product may disappear tomorrow, or that you run a sale and then that sale may not be existent tomorrow, really causes people to rush and urge for that product. Definitely can work on email strategies as well. I really use that a lot with VIP marketing, and also limited editions. So saying, hey, this product's coming out, it's only going to be available for the next 24 hours. Make sure after 24 hours that you do take that off. Otherwise, if you continuously leave something on that, isn't going to be 24 hours, and you said 24 hours, it's kind of like those shops that you pass by when you're driving, and it's like a furniture store saying, hey, we're going out of business. The motherfucker's been saying that they're going out of business for 3 years. Don't be those people. So scrolling down here, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, this is the big push. This is what they're calling it right here. You want to do discounts of 20 to 30, buy one, get one 50% off. I don't know about that, because that would kill our margins, but it could increase our visibility on Etsy. So iffy situation, if you did do that, only do that probably for just one day and a very limited amount. Free shipping over 100, that's about right. You kind of want to charge for shipping. You can do shipping over 35, but you would want to calculate that in there. Doorbusters here, marketing points, personalized gifts. Yep, order now, viral art, channel blitz. I mean, this is just amazing. It even gives you a sample of your discount codes. So which ones you should do: early bird, bundle deals, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, last call, holiday marketing points to hammer. This is just an amazing, amazing breakdown here. So now that we have all of this, it gave us a little bit of insight on what we want to do. We want to create a pet portrait or regular portrait of a person. So personalization, right? That was a big key factor here. So the great thing is now with ChatGPT is you can easily do that in 1 to 2 seconds by just adding their picture, getting it in there, and making that into a photo. You can even create an agent to do this for you, which I will get to later on in my channel. Just give me like a month or two. I'm trying to walk you through the steps of building this successful business using AI before I start hitting you with those real big money makers. So now that we have all of this, what we want to do is we want to start targeting ads. And a lot of people don't know how to run an ad. You know, if you just put your picture in there and say, hey, make me an ad, you can easily do that. But we want to really target them with email marketing and ads as much as possible. So with that said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to type in something that I want 3 different ads for. Okay, so this is for ads. I'm gonna write a Facebook or Instagram ad script that opens with a painful problem, introduces my product as the solution, includes a testimony, and ends with urgency plus strong CTA. Hook should focus on wasting time or money. Keep it clear and direct. Write 3 unique ad angles for the same product, emotional, logical, and scarcity based. Now, if you want more marketing tips like this, make sure that you view this video. Now, clicking enter, it's going to pop this out for us. Here we go. We have 3 high converting ad scripts. So we have our emotional angle right here, logical angle right here, and our scarcity deadline angle. You want to launch all 3 of these, see which one works best for you. Scarcity is huge, but the emotional connection is very big because people that have that emotional connection will tend to buy more. A lot of people purchase on impulse more than they purchase by logic. So now what we have are ads here. We have everything that we need in terms of how to really target those people on ads. We need something for email because it did mention that we need hit them with emails as well. So as we gather emails, we need to make sure that we're marketing to them. So let's do this. Okay, so this is gonna be a lot, but it says, write a high converting product launch email for a new wallet targeting US-based adults, ages 28 to 50, unique home decor, self-expression, ready to hang, custom, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I wrote a lot for this, so that's why I skipped it ahead. The more information you write, the better. And I really go into detail on this on a lot of my videos here on how to really prompt this, but watch what this does. Instantly, this gives us everything we need. Subject line options, turn empty walls into work of art, see the transformation, dull space, discover wall art. We're hitting them with that emotional trigger that this is what it's like in their house, right? Body, copy, ever walk into a room and feel nothing? The walls are blank. I mean, this is great. The closing CTA, ready to transform your space. I would like the CTA to also be up the top here. So what I would like to do is just say, this is really simple. This is a simple prompt. You just say, add a few CTAs inside the body. I want one in the beginning, as well as the middle and the end. I want the CTA to go unnoticed and not feel gimmicky or pushy. They should gravitate to it. This is important. You don't want to make these emails or any ads or anything like that feel pushy in any way. So hitting that, it's going to revise it. And it gave us our subject line as well as a body copy telling you exactly where, your line name, where to add links, what to do here, your brand signature. I mean, this is perfect. Now we have ads, we have email, we have exactly who to target, what we should be doing, how we should be running this. If you were to launch a new one of this and say you did 4.0 here, and then you added a photo. This is a picture of my wife and little man in Nashville. This was taken probably about over a year ago. Now, all you have to do here is just make it into whatever style you want. Cartoon portrait, maybe you want to make them into superheroes. You can do anything, and you could do this actually with a very simple prompt. So you just say, make this picture of my family into a cartoon style image. That's it. That's all you really need. Now you can tell you what type of cartoon style image. In this case, I like the GTA 5 and GTA 6. So maybe we'll say that into a GTA 5 style cartoon image. And we'll hit the enter button. Now as this loads, it really doesn't take that long, and you can easily do this with all your customers' photos. In addition to that, I'm not a huge gamer, but the GTA 5 style is really cool and exciting. I launched one where I did 25 different characters, and that one came out really cool. But I've done Disney characters, I did, anime, Ghibli, all these ones. I like the style of this, so let's see what it comes up with. There we go, quick, easy, simple. Now I'm gonna take this picture and I'm actually gonna put it into a frame because we did the whole business, right? We got the whole business strategy down, but you need to know how to take the pictures and items and put them into actual art. Because even though I gave you the entire business strategy, I know a lot of you are wondering, well, okay, cool, I have all this printout, all these words, and that's awesome. But how do I make a picture into art? How do I get this onto a website? How do I, oh my God, please, please, please help me. And you're going insane. I'm helping you out here, don't worry. I didn't just leave you with just words in a ChatGPT and just take off. So with that, I'm going to save this. And then we are going to look for pictures here on Creative Fabrica or Fabrica, however you want to pronounce it. Now remember, it said that it liked the homey vibe. That's what you want to go for. So I'm scrolling through here. I kind of like this one because it's like a home office and this would work. So we're going to put this here. It's got a PSD file on JPEG. Download this, open this up in Photoshop, and right here, all you have to do is just click here. And then you're going to add your design there. So I'm going to add that picture I just made. Here we go, file, save. And it's going to load right into there. There we go. Well, I probably should have made them like kind of extended out. So hold on one second here. Okay, I resized this image, made it look a little better, and then there we go. Now just file save that, and we already have one of our mock-ups. This also can be used very easily in our ads. Now what I would suggest you to do is not have this entire image. You'd want to zoom in on it. So maybe something like let's see, like here. What I'd say is just copy it, make it zoomed in like this. This is how it would look like on your ad or even inside your Instagram or Facebook post. It took 2 seconds to make. Obviously, you just literally saw me make the picture, make a mock-up, and what was that? Less than a minute. And now, if I wanted to take this picture and I wanted to use, say, Printify to launch this, you go to Printify, type in Canvas, find the canvas wall art that you want, right here, click Start Designing. Now, obviously, we want it in a different size. Said one of the options here was, what was that? Said 16 by 24 is a very popular option. So here we go. We're going to upload that picture. Click Preview. And here we go. Now, Printify does provide you with mockups. I like to have my own different mockups because I like to stand out. I don't want to have the same thing as everybody else. But as soon as you're happy, okay, you're good with that, click Save Product. Choose which mockups you want, click Save Selection, enter your title, your description, as well as any information else that you want. So this is where we're going to go back to ChatGPT, and now we're going to create that title, the description, and all this. We're pushing this to either your Shopify or your Etsy, or even to that Everbee store. So going back into ChatGPT here, we're going to launch a new window. We're going to put that photo in here. And the photo that you want to put in here is the one that's going to either be your ad, your main mock-up, whatever. You don't want to just put a random photo in there. You want it to be the item that you're going to be selling. So I'm going to write in, provide me with a title, description, and any key elements needed to sell this product on Etsy. I also want 13 tags that customers will search for. Use Google and Pinterest trends to determine the keywords. I also need these keywords to be in the title. The title has a max of 140 characters, and the keywords for Etsy has a max of 20 characters each. So you need to let them know what the max is. Click enter, and here we go. Now it provided us with our title, our description, as well as the 13 keywords with a maximum of 20 characters. It did say art multiple times, so you can actually take out the art. You can even say do not use duplicates because it's not really necessary, especially on Etsy. They'll just pull, like, say, cartoon wall and then art maybe from down here. So you don't need wall multiple times, you don't need art. I can adjust that, but I don't want to take too much of your time here. So with this, we have our description, which will be great based off of when it's searching off of Google, when it's being searched off of Bing, wherever it's going to be found online, and we have a great title. So, I mean, this is perfect. We can easily just grab this in here. We also need our price point, right? So based off of that previous one, we're going to go back into the other one, which is where it gave us all of our breakdown of price points. So what I want to do here is just say, make sure that these price points make at least 50% net margin. Then give me the exact amount I should list online, as well as if I launch a discount. So I end up at the rate, the price that leaves me with this margin. Okay, because what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're going to get the correct amount of margin. We want the money, right? And in addition to that, if we're running a sale, we still want that money. We're not going to take money away from our pockets. So it's going to give us a breakdown of this. And it gave us a whole entire thing, base cost, retail price, as well as our listing price with 20%. So if we want to list it at $62.50 with 20%, then this is how much we're going to get for our 50% net margin. This is how much it would cost us. This is what we're going to end with. List it for $175, do the 20% off, goes to $140, and there we go. So this is how we're going to list this on Printify. Watch the different mockups, take the title as well as the description and the tags from that previous one, and you're good to go. So with that being said, within just this little time frame, we've literally just created everything. We started with not knowing what product we were even going to launch to building a full out plan in the next 5.5 months to create a business that can make $1 million over the 3 different platforms, starting with Etsy as the foundation, then moving it into Amazon if possible. Some people can't really get into Amazon depending on your location, but if you can, try it out. You have that option. It's very easy to make money during the holidays. Now, from there, you can also launch your own website. If you don't want to use Shopify, you can easily use the Everbee store because you're starting with Etsy, one click, one stop, and it literally transfers everything from Etsy right to your Everbee store. Plus, it only costs $29. After doing that, it gave us an entire breakdown of how to do everything from, starting in July and ending all the way in December. In addition to that, it gave us our entire demographic on who to target for our ads and gave us our ads that we should run. But not only that, if we capture their email, how to write a marketing email to them to grab even more money. Each one of these is adding value that the customer is going to see. ChatGPT is really dialing in on their emotion because that's what we asked for. So when they see our pictures and they see our mock-ups and they see all of this, they're going to have that urge to make that buy. They're going to want to click that purchase and buy button before they leave. And if they don't, then you know what we do? Just ask Chatty to make another email about abandoned carts. Get those customers back. Within this little time frame, we built something that literally took me months to make when I first started my business and takes some people years to understand or even scale their business. And this is just mind-blowing. And you can add this with any product that you want, whether you want to do apparel, if you want to do mugs, if you want to do pillows, if you want to do tote bags, it doesn't matter. All of this can be broken down in the same exact way that I just showed you. And if you're not using ChatGPT to further your business, then you're losing out on money each and every single day. Either way, play around with this, type in all the things that I did, and go make that $1 million business. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment below. You know I love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon.